Today I have for you a triceps, shoulders, and chest focused workout on the Pilates Wunda chair. I have my chair set to 2 middle springs. You can certainly adjust for some of these exercises as you need to. Our first exercise is tricep seated, and I'm utilizing a yoga block to sit on. Now, since this is pretty heavy for this particular exercise, I place my hands on there and walk it down, so I'm not reaching my hands back behind or straining myself to bring that pedal down towards the floor. Now, I'm lifting up those elbows into the air and pressing back down for tricep seated. And now, slowly shifting my weight back and getting up to adjust that pedal, and then coming forward and laying on the seat, moving into triceps prone. Finding that good position where you can balance, we're going to pull those elbows straight back and then press the pedal back down. Zip the legs together and reach the body long. Stabilize the body as much as possible and think about the entire body lifting as you press down. And coming out of that exercise, we're going to move the yoga block off to the side and come into push-ups. Now these are Pilates style or tricep push-ups where we're taking the elbows straight back close to the body. The thumbs are underneath the armpits here. And we're shooting for about 10 push-ups or as many as you can do before moving into the next exercise. Good, now we're going to move into some supported dips here. So, placing our feet onto the pedal, we're going to press that pedal down and take our hips off of the seat and then go into dips here. So fingers are facing forward, just holding onto the edge of the chair, and we're allowing ourselves to dip down. This feels like some of our frog exercises minus the leg movement. We're just focusing on the dip here, and our body is floating in space, and the chair is assisting and helping us to press back up. Good. Now we're going to take this workout into a circuit. So we're going to start all of those exercises over again, giving ourselves just a brief break in between rounds. And while we're moving through the individual exercises, we want to move from one to the next pretty quickly and then have a little break in between rounds. We're just going to have a little stretch break here and a different focus, placing the hands onto the chair. We're going to reach down, washerwoman style, and roll down through the spine, pressing that pedal down towards the floor. Feet are in Pilates V, stepped away from the chair, about a foot's distance. Just roll through that spine and get that core activated and working. Feel the connection between your arms and your back. Good, and now lift the arms up overhead and circle back. Just a little bit of conductor arms here before we get started with everything again. Grabbing that yoga block, we're moving into tricep seated. Again, come into that position safely with the pedal pressed down towards the floor, and then we're going to lift and press back down. Think about the trunk being stable, the chest nice and open, and sitting up nice and tall with the feet planted on the floor. And lifting up nice and carefully, coming around for triceps prone. Sometimes in this one, it takes a little bit of shifting around to find that perfect position where you can stabilize the body and lift and lower without tipping forward or tipping backward. And now coming back and out of that, we'll move our yoga block out of the way and move into our push-ups. So from exercise to exercise, we're moving pretty quickly here. And if you need to stop and give yourself a break in between those push-ups, just hold that plank for a moment and then proceed. Good. Give yourself a little stretch back into rest pose. And now into some supported dips. I'm actually going to show you another way to do these here. Placing the bum onto the pedal and planting the feet on the floor. Here you get a little bit of extra support and your body's not free floating. Now those muscles are all working and you've been working them quite a bit, so you will still feel this working here. It's a little bit less challenging than the first supported dips that I showed, but when you're working in a circuit and when you're doing a lot of exercises targeting those muscles, this can be really nice. So you've got a little lift up from the seat. It's more supported and more effective for me than just going off of a solid piece of furniture and taking dips like this, and it's really useful. Now lifting the arms up to the sky, we're going to dive forward, press that pedal down, roll through the spine, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. We are just using that upper body and rolling through the spine, using the core. Lift those arms up overhead and circle around down and back. Little bit of conductor arms here. Whew, feeling the chest, feeling the triceps. Placing the hands onto the seat of your chair, go ahead and stretch forward. Think about sinking down in deep and your head and neck coming beyond the arms if that is possible while you lower down and in. All right, we're moving into the third time through. If you need to take a little bit more of a break before proceeding, go ahead and do so. I'm diving right in. Triceps seated. Here we go. I can't stress enough that when you've got two middle springs that you come into this carefully. When it's this heavy, I don't recommend sitting down onto the floor or onto the block and then reaching back and trying to pull it down. You're gonna twist or jerk. So I just place my hands there and then step forward, letting my body weight assist that down to the floor, and then carefully coming out of it by stepping back and making sure that I'm coming up with control and allowing it to just rise up, just like this. Now coming into triceps prone. on the top of the seat. Zip those legs together. Sometimes I have to remind myself a second in. And try to hold that nice long line of the body, which is easier said than done. Coming down right here. And we're going to place the hands onto the seat and reach back into a brief rest pose right there before we go into our push-ups. Now, as you're getting tired here, make sure that you maintain good form. You could always bring it down to the knees and modify. Perhaps you're starting out on the knees, and that is just fine also. I'm taking a couple here and then giving myself a rest in plank before plunging back in. And now into those assisted dips. This time through, I'm going to take my bottom onto the pedal again as well, with the feet on the floor. And you can do any variation of those assisted dips that you'd like to here. And stepping off, definitely feeling that here. Now into the washerwoman, circle the arms up, dive down, and press that pedal down, rolling through the spine, feeling that core. You'll definitely still be feeling the upper body, but we're moving this into the core here, and this movement feels good after all that we've been doing. And lifting up overhead, circling those arms down, around, and back, and a little bit of conductor arms right here. Placing the hands onto the edge of the chair and pressing back into that rest pose feels so lovely right here. Whew, I'm feeling it. Right here in the chest, shoulders, triceps. Whew, I hope you've enjoyed that and you know how to target those areas now if you didn't before on the Pilates chair. And you can find all of these exercises broken down and addressed separately on Patreon. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope that you've targeted all those areas that you wanted to today in about 12 minutes. Not bad. You can come back here anytime for Mat Pilates, chair, reformer, springboard, bar, and more. See you guys next time in the studio.